Back here in Beaver Stadium with head coach James Franklin. Coach, a beautiful late September day right now. What do you think about this weather?
Yeah, it's probably warmer here today than it was in August. Either way, we'll take it.
You know, Coach, I know the focus right now, Indiana, but I mean, hard to miss. You know, we got some transformations on the end zone, generations of greatness coming up. I know there's a lot of game prep focus, but what's kind of the level of excitement to be able to kind of honor the past in this generations of greatness game?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. You know, it's something we started talking about from when I first arrived, about ways that we could kind of honor our history and our traditions and, you know, bring back some of those elements into our uniform and things like that. So something that's going to be fun. I know our guys are going to be excited about it. We already started breaking in the cleats and some of the other things last Sunday. So our guys are excited about it.
What's the process like to break in those cleats?
I mean, nothing extensive. I think what happens a lot of times is you wait to the last minute, you wear a pair of cleats once, and you think you're okay, and then you end up having a blister, you know, for the following week. So we've just taken three Sundays and Thursdays where we break them in. When the guys feel like they're good with them, then they just hand them back in. But if not, we're allowing them to get them as broken, as comfortable as possible, so they can come out here and not even think about it.
Well, pulling the focus back to Penn State a little bit, on Saturday you mentioned, you know, this defense really not getting enough credit for the way it's playing right now. You know, where have you seen, you know, things that are the most impressive to you, and where's the room for things to get better?
Well, I think our defense is probably very similar to how our whole team is. You know, maybe not one unit that's just completely dominating, but we're playing really good team defense. Turnovers, pressure in the quarterback, tackles for loss, things like that. And then I thought, you know, on Saturday, especially in the first half, you know, we stopped the run extremely well. So, you know, gave up some big runs in the second half to a really good running back and a really good team. But our defense, I think we all realize our defense kept us in that game. And you look at what we've been able to do so far at this point of the season. You know, we're one of the better scoring defenses in the country, which is really, at the end of the day, all that matters.
And when you think on the other side of the ball, this offense, I mean, just still as explosive as by design. But I'm curious, you know, we saw Saquon Barkley and Juwan Johnson, but is there anybody in particular, you know, that you're kind of seeing and what you're seeing in practice that maybe everyone else isn't seeing, that you're seeing that is just going to be kind of on the cusp of stepping forward? Yeah,
I just think you're going to see the way our offense is. You're going to see a week where one guy has a dominant performance and then maybe fades into the background the next week. It's all based on, you know, the game plan and what the defense is presenting to us. You know, I think Deshaun Hamilton's had as good of a, you know, off season and preseason and early, you know, practice part of this season as well. You know, Juwan's a guy we knew was going to break out at some point. Tompkins is a guy like that. Saeed's a guy like that. Gesicki's a guy like that. We just got so many guys that are weapons. You know, you even look at our running back situation with Miles and Andre. You know, we just got a lot of depth. And then you get a guy like Will Fries going in and starting his first game. That's going to pay dividends for us down the road as well.
And when you jump into Indiana a little bit, you know, what are some of the challenges kind of preparing for this defense, another defense led by an All-American linebacker?
Yeah, just very productive, you know, very productive, very great instincts in the box, very physical. You know, it's gonna be a challenge. The Fant guy at corner, yeah. You know, their corner, he's been, you know, one of the better corners that we've seen for the last couple of years. Early on, we said, you know, here's a guy that, you know, we think from a size standpoint that we can, you know, maybe, you know, take advantage of. He's not 6'2", you know, he's a little bit undersized from that standpoint. But it never played out that way. That guy plays big, he's physical, he's strong, he's fast, he's a playmaker. So, you know, it's going to be a challenge. Our head coach is defensive coordinator, very respected defensive coordinator. You know, one of the things that's probably not talked about, but Jevin, our video guy, that was his head coach in high school.
Interesting to know.
Defensive coordinator. It's a little, you know, interesting tidbit. We've kicked Jevin out of the facility this week, so there's no leakage of information.
Understandable. Other side of the ball for Indiana, a veteran quarterback, but I'm curious kind of what you've seen from, you know, as injuries have been kind of taking their toll, you know, newcomers stepping up and what the staff is, you know, preparing for there.
I think it's the quarterback, I think, is really, you know, the difference maker for them. You watch the Ohio State game, his ability to make tight window throws, big time throws. You know, obviously getting their receiver back this year. You know, he's been a playmaker for. He's big. He's 6'4". Missed last season with an injury, and then comes back right out of the gate, you know, against Ohio State and has a huge game. So, you know, they're the two big factors I think on the offensive side of the ball, is the quarterback and the wideout. Going to be a challenge for us, there's no doubt about it, but we do think we got some guys that can simulate those guys in practice to get our guys prepared.
And then Indiana really just kind of coming in strong in all three phases of the game. You know, obviously coverage units, a strength for Penn State right now, but specifically as it relates to maybe punt coverage and kind of what you're seeing from Indiana and their punt returners.
Yeah, their punt returner I think is either first or second, you know, in the Big Ten and in the country respectively. So that's going to be another challenge. Seems like each week we have somebody that we identify on special teams that we're going to have to, you know, try to limit their impact in the game as much as we possibly can. So far this season, we've really stepped up to the challenge. And I think it's a combination of how we're able to kick the ball or punt the ball, and then our athleticism on our coverage units. So, you know, we're going to have to continue to do that. I think drive, start, and field position has probably been the story of the season so far up to this point.
Well, thank you so much, and we certainly look forward to seeing you back in Beaver Stadium on Saturday.
Thank you very much.